Hello, my name is Kyatt and welcome to the first episode of my Jotun guide/walkthrough. Today I'll be covering Jera, I hope I pronounced it correctly, who is the first boss in the game. Before we get started, a couple of points here. I won't cover the Valhalla mode Jera, this will be in another episode. Also, if you're all about unlocking every possible achievement on Steam in this game, I suggest you just wait for my upcoming videos where I will go into detail about a specific single one-by-one achievements. If you wanted to go for the achievements, I highly recommend beating the game first and finding every single Jotun apple, that means the golden apple, as well as every possible god power, basically power up, you know. The reason is, after beating a single boss you can still go back to fight him one more time. As you can see on the screen right here, the path to Jera is not glowing anymore for me because I have already beaten her. But as you can see, I will slowly progress and go into her arena to fight her one more time. So this video is basically a strategy guide for Jera, so I will be covering her every possible move and also how to counter it, and I will go through all of her phases. Again, excluding Valhalla Jera, she is slightly different and I will be making a separate video for that boss fight. As usual, below her arena you can find Mimir to restore your spirit, which basically means restore your health and every god power that you have acquired. Also, you can find 5 blue flowers all around her arena, and they will be pretty much necessary, so keep an eye on them. The boss fight will start whenever you hit that weird eye plant thingy. Of course, she's immune to any damage until her health bar pops up. So her most common move, and in fact the only one in the first phase of the fight, is her slamming her arms to the ground. Now, there are only 2 variations of that move, and she can either start from the left and go to the right, or from the right to the left. In any case, she will always try to hit in the 5 different spots, and there will be a visual cue in form of a shadow over that place. And the hitboxes match the shadow pretty nicely, actually. So that move should be fairly easy to dodge. If she's going from the left to the right, just roll to the left to the place that she has already hit. And the same goes for right to left pattern. Now, upon dealing about 15 to 20% of her health, she might get stunned, and she will basically reveal her flowers sitting inside of her stomach, I don't know. Just approach it, hit it a few times till she wakes up, and then you can go back. Now the second phase should start. She should immediately follow up with her new move where she buries her arms in the ground and then she proceeds to spawn a lot of vines. If you ever played League of Legends, I would describe the vines as an Ilaoi tentacles, if you know what I mean. And if you've never played League, basically if you get in the range of a vine, it will try to slam you. Now the things are getting a little bit trickier, of course. As you can see, I have to dodge both the vines and her hands. You can still go for the phase 1 strategy, where you can just, you know, dodge her arms, but then you have to be careful about positioning of the vines, obviously, and you have to pick the safe spots a little bit more carefully. Now, 2 things to mention about the vines. First of all, they can be destroyed with a single basic attack, so unless you're going for a vegetarian achievement, I highly recommend destroying the vines around you. And the second thing, which might not be obvious at first, is that her vines actually do disappear. Yes, it takes about 15 seconds or so, but the vines will eventually disappear, go back to the ground essentially. So that makes basically the vegetarian achievement possible. Now, every vine group has its own 15 seconds time, about 15 seconds timer. So what I mean is, if she spawns a group of vines and then after 5 seconds she spawns another group of vines, then yes, you will have to take care of both vine groups for next 10 seconds, but after that the first group will despawn and another 5 seconds later the second group will despawn. I hope that makes sense. The second new move in phase 2 is the white flower that is basically blooming on her back, which slowly spreads a poisonous cloud around the whole arena. And that's where our blue flowers come in handy. If you stand next to the blue flower, you cannot be poisoned even if the poisonous gas reaches you. And if you have been already poisoned, just rush to the blue flower and the poison will go away. The only possible strategy for that move is basically when you see her like bend forward, just immediately rush to the blue flower and hope for the best, that's all. So the second phase might be a little bit more challenging, obviously, and as in every other Soulsborne game, just take your time if you can. Just dodge her arms, destroy the vines. If you see her bending forward, just immediately rush to the nearest blue flower and repeat. And after another stun, the background suddenly changes, the music becomes really epic. Yes, my friend, it's phase number 3. And the only thing that makes it different from the second phase is her branches. Yes, she spawns a total of 6 branches all around herself, and they basically block you from moving to a safe spot. Why safe spot? Well, because you still have to dodge her arm slams attacks, right? So to take care of the branches you have to use your heavy attack, and it actually only takes 1 heavy attack to make it shrink. And be careful, because after 20 seconds it will eventually grow back. So my suggestion is destroy only 1 branch, either to your left or to your right, as that's all you really need to dodge her arm slams, you know. And now, till the end of the boss fight, just do what you did for the second phase and keep in mind to have at least 1 branch destroyed. And about the god powers, well, there's not much to say, to be honest. Of course, you can use heal whenever you are low on health, well, duh. You can use your shield if you're certain that you cannot dodge her arm slam, or if you are stuck between some vines, because that can be really obnoxious actually. The one that gives you speed attack and movement speed is obviously great, use it wherever you want. Thor Mjolnir power, also really great for dealing a lot of damage quickly. This ranged arrow thingy, also useful of course to deal a little bit of damage from the distance. And the only thing that is completely useless for me would be the clone one. I mean, you can use it kinda to distract the vines from your character, probably, but I figured that it's much easier to just destroy the vines and use a simpler roll. And that would be it for the Jera from Jotun. I hope I pronounced that correctly, I don't know, man. I like Norwegian, but it's so hard to pronounce, you know? So, for the achievements point of view, this video should only be used to give you the Tame the Wilds achievement, and about every other one, so Perfect Jera, Time Trial Jera, Shun the Gods Jera and Vegetarian, I will upload another videos about them and how to get them, and it will be just my gameplay without any commentary whatsoever. Without any commentary, because I figured that my gameplay would be kinda self-explanatory, you know? So, thank you for watching, and remember to subscribe and like this video if you found it helpful, and stay tuned for next videos. Bye!